What's going on, people? Welcome to United View. What's going on? Welcome to this lunchtime. Welcome to the Man United versus Leicester preview. And welcome to the press conference reaction as well. Again, been a little hot minute since I've been with you guys on my ones. You know what I'm saying? That little intimate time, me and you know what I'm saying? That was a bit weird. But big up to yourselves, man. I'm buzzing today. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. International football has finished. Club football is back. The Premier League returns. And it's business. It's down to business, man. There's no point dressing this up. There's no point kind of, sugarcoating it. This is a really peak time for Man United. We've got to win games. We've got to improve performances. We've got to start picking it up. We ain't played anybody difficult yet out of the big teams. And now we are playing them. Hold on, just real quickly, yeah. That is really annoying me. There's a little bit on the corner that I just need to crop. So let me just do that because that is mad annoying. There you go. It's gone now. Probably didn't even see it, but it just annoyed me. Let me know where you're watching from, guys. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. You don't know what to do as you walk in through the door. CJK said, Digital says, well, go on, Flex. Big up to yourself. Victor says, Flex, do you think Jones plays? No, I don't think Phil Jones plays. I don't. And Geordie Toon for Life says, Flex, get up to Newcastle. I'm sure we can get you in as a true football fan. I will be coming to Newcastle whenever we play you. Don't worry about that. And Connect Real, big up yourself, bro. Says, man like Flex, much love from South Africa. We got Nebraska in the house. We got Jamaica in the house as well. Once again, KG caused lateness, says Devon. Devon, I'm actually on time, to be honest. I think I was on time. Bang on time. And King Jar says, Ollie isn't going to get sacked no matter what with this board in charge. Interesting conversation. We'll have to talk a little bit about that as well. But let's get into it, man. Do we do the press conference first or do we do the match preview first? Let's do a little bit of the press conference because that's the most recent thing that's happened. It's a bit flat. It was a bit flat. There wasn't really much going on considering we ain't playing that great. But there were some interesting bits. I'm going to start off with the Jesse Lingard one for me. I thought it was a little bit contradictory of Solskjaer. And it was almost like he caught himself in the moment. And if you haven't watched it and you need to know what he said, this is what he said when our guy here at the United View, Per Atle, from TV2 Norway, good friend of mine, good friend of you guys as well on the channel, always comes through, gives his thoughts. He was one of the very few to actually ask a proper engaging question of something we really want to know. And he basically said to Ollie, what's going on with Jesse's contract? What's going on with the future of him? What do you want to do with him, etc., etc. Solskjaer says, quote, Jesse's had a good start to the season, of course. He's come and scored a few goals for us, and he's been very important for us. We want to prolong his contract. We see him as an important player. Then he said it's up to him to get himself in the team. And then he caught himself and he was like, well, actually it's up to me to give him more playing time because he deserves it. And it basically says, Jesse knows what we want. Hopefully we can get a deal sorted for him. So obviously loads of positivity from Ollie, wanting to keep Jesse. And he kind of gave some, I wouldn't say assurances that he's there, but he gave some positive vibes in terms of their intent, the club's intent. The club wants to keep Jesse Lingard. And I think we already know that, we know that. But we've seen it. Was it Barcelona involved in trying to get him maybe in January along with AC Milan? We'll have to see. To try and sign him. To try and sign him later on, basically. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I think that's the question. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure because it all comes down to Jesse Lingard. He's got all the cards in his hand. Do you know what I'm saying? Connect Real says, as much as I like Jesse, but I think we should have sold him in the summer. Yeah, I hear that, but you know what's really weird? You know what's really weird about that one is that he's actually come on and had quite a big impact in a good couple of games now, which just gave the food for thought of what should we have done. Look, we could have got good money for Jesse, which could have been put into getting a defensive midfielder. I understand that, especially because Jesse's going to want to play going into that World Cup season as well. He needs to play. But there's a lot of personal issues going on there. Maybe he wants to stay in Manchester for that. I don't know, but what was really funny was Solskjaer, like, kind of catching himself in the moment saying, oh shit, well, yeah, I'm saying he deserves to play, but it's me. I'm the one stopping him playing because actually he's doing enough. I just keep leaving him out. So then which one is it? Which one is it then? Do you want him? Because in that case, you need to play him more. But you're saying you pick your best team, Ollie, and he's not in it. So, there's only one way that's going to end for me. I don't see him being able to stay long term. I'll be very surprised if that does happen. Let's say that, to say the least. So I thought that was interesting. Also, injury update. He spoke about Maguire, obviously Varane, which we know about, Maguire, which we know about, and most importantly, Rashford. Could Rashford start the game? When Ollie does the Ollie lies, and when I say the Ollie lies, it's what me and KG say in terms of the tongue in cheek. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's a liar in his life and he's a horrible person. I mean in football terms, yeah. When Ollie does that, he has that little Ollie smirk. You know the Ollie smirk that just, I can't even do it. I can't look like a white Norwegian guy, how Ollie, I look like me, but you get what I'm saying. He does the Ollie smirk. You don't know what I'm talking about. He does the Ollie smirk, yeah, where he just does this. He has the baby face assassin grin that he used to have, because he's still kind of got it, even though he looks older. And it's like, yeah, we know you're doing the porcupine thing there, Ollie. Do you know what I mean? And big up. Do you know what? We haven't got confirmation that Marcus Rashford's going to start, but I will say, Owen and KG. And the guys on the Full View the other day, I think DJ said it as well. They were like, nah, Rashford's going to start. They actually, one of them, I can't remember exactly who. They was like, mark my words, he's going to start. And I was like, nah, no chance. He's been out for a while. Do you know what I mean? But then he played to 60 minutes behind closed doors. He's been training hard, scored a couple goals. And Ollie said he's fit and fighting to go, is what he said. He didn't say he needs a little bit more time. We have to wait and see how involved he can be. He said he's fit and raring to go. Whether he's going to start or not, obviously, I can't tell you that. Basically, because I'm not giving my tactics away. Not really because Marcus might not be ready to start. Do you know what I mean? Usually after a player comes back after a long injury, what you get from the manager is, we'll have to wait and see. They've been out for a while. We have to ease him in. He'll play some part, I'm sure. That's usually what you get when he's not really sure how much part he's going to play. But in terms of starting or not starting, it was more he's fit and fighting, ready to go. He says Marcus is back in the squad. He's back, fit and raring to go. He's raring to go. If Marcus Rashford's raring to go, that means he can start the game. So I'll have to admit defeat on that one. Maybe not if he doesn't start tomorrow, but I think there's a strong a strong chance that Marcus Rashford does start tomorrow against Leicester. I can see that now from Ollie's press conference, and shout out to anyone who said it from before. Just quickly, Miko says, Flex, what was the real score against KG? LOL. This guy, he's such a I can't stand him. I'm not a liar. He did beat me 2-1, but the real lie, what he was like, oh, Flex used McTominay and Fred. You know, he's such a Ollie set. What? He's a liar. He's a liar. He wouldn't dare screenshot the actual game and put up my team sheet of what I played. He's just a liar. But I'm not hating on him, because that's what he is. He does the lying thing. The thing that worries me is what he said about Fred, says Raz. He said that, when he said that Fred with the energy and stuff like that. And also just on Cavani and Fred, he said that they played this morning, early hours of the morning, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So obviously they won't be playing tomorrow once they're back. It's too soon, which is a bit nuts. Which leaves us to get into the preview when we talk a little bit about that. So there's that. And also, he said that it's more of a midweek thing for them in the Champions League. So we'll see McTominay, we'll see Fred and Cavani back in the squad for then. He said Harry Maguire has only just started training on grass as well. So he's not obviously going to be back just yet. And Ahmad has obviously started on grass as well. So those are the injury updates. That's what we know. But other than that, he said we're looking pretty good. A journalist asked him a question about leaving out Ronaldo as well. And the way that the journo dropped it was like, yeah, look at Ronaldo's goals. He scored four goals in 2 games in international break, even though they're against easy opposition. Doesn't matter. He still scored them, right? And he says, does that show why it's so hard to leave him out, Ollie? And Ollie does, again, the Ollie laugh, the Ollie smile, that whole, I'm not really trying to, I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to, you know what I mean, say, have you learnt your lesson from leaving Ronaldo on the bench? But he said something quite interesting. He says, we got to May, right, in the final stretch of last season, and we were too tired. He said we were too tired. I manage the players for the club. It's nice to have him on the pitch. He'll always come up with the goods. The more we have him on the pitch, the better. But the fact that he alluded to, we got to April and May and we was tired, it shows you like that he's thinking super, super far ahead. And I get it. You have to plan for that. But big man, if you don't play the best players, we ain't going to get to April and May and be in the big trophy, in the hunt for the big trophies. If you drop Ronaldo at the wrong times, like a lot of people agree that, you know, it was the wrong time to drop him against, who was it against? West Ham, or was it Villarreal? I can't remember. West Ham, I think it was. Sorry, Everton. Jesus, sorry, Everton. He didn't play against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, but against Everton. Um, if you drop him in them sort of games against tough opposition just before the international break, we won't even see the light of day in May, in April, to be challenging for the big trophy. So that's not an over exaggeration. I think that's a fair judgment to say, bro. Like Scholes said it on the overlap thing that he done with Gary Neville the other day. On that show he does on YouTube. Scholes says Man United aren't good enough to rest players. They're not good enough yet. He said City can do it. Chelsea can do it. He said even Liverpool, he said he obviously with their squad depth, he's not even sure they can rest too many. But the manager will probably bring them through in their playing style. But with us, we ain't got that luxury. But that's annoying though, because if you think about the squad that we actually do have, with the likes of a Martial on the bench, with the likes of a Sancho maybe on the bench when Rashford comes back, Greenwood might have to sit down on the bench, Cavani's going to be on the bench, Donny's on the bench. They're fucking good players. Really, we should have have the luxury of being able to rotate certain players in that system. But unfortunately, under this regime, how we play football, we don't. That is the truth. I 100% agree with Paul Pogba. I 100% agree with Paul Scholes, from one Paul to another. With Paul Scholes, I agree with him. We ain't got the luxury of being able to rest players, and he touched on it by saying that he's thinking far ahead. And I get it. It is a bit of a balancing act because you don't want to burn players out. But this early in the season, when I don't even think there's fear of burnout yet. Ronaldo's not burnt out yet. He's not burnt out yet. He's ready to go. It's only the 6th or 7th game of the season, and he didn't even play the first 2 games of the season for us, did he? Or first 3 games? Yeah, Wolves. Yeah, exactly, Wolves. So what was it? Leeds, Southampton, then Wolves, then Ronaldo was there against Newcastle. So there's no reason for me why Ronaldo needed to be rested. But it was interesting to hear Ollie get posed with that question. His thing was, well, last year I want to try and learn from my mistake. It's like Ollie's trying to fix. He's trying to fix the problem, which obviously he should do, but the way round that he's looking at it probably it doesn't help. Do you see what I'm saying? So I understand what he's saying in terms of you have to manage the squad. There's loads of games, and yes, towards the back end of last year, because we didn't have the depth and we didn't have Varane, we didn't have Sancho, we didn't have Ronaldo. That's 3 proper quality players. Where now Lindelof can drop to the bench, where now Martial can drop to the bench, or Rashford can drop to the bench, or Greenwood can drop to the bench. Now Cavani can drop to the bench. That's 3, and obviously Donny's always been on the bench. That's 3 top draw players there that we've brought in that have put 3 top draw players or very decent players on the bench. So yeah, all right, we got tired last year in April and May, but that shouldn't be what it is now. I think like now you actually do have the squad to play them, and then when they get tired, make the changes. Not change them before they really kind of get tired. I think we ain't got the luxury to do that. We're not playing well enough. We don't play well enough, good enough football to be able to rest, especially Ronaldo. I think people could say what they want. They might not, what he brings to the team, how he doesn't press from the front. We've got to compensate, and other players got to do the running. Yes, I agree with that. But that's just the byproduct of having Ronaldo. You need to find a way because he needs to be on the pitch because he's going to get you goals. Simple as that. So yeah, I thought that was interesting to see him kind of look at that. If you're talking about evolution of the squad, you have to say, you know what, we've evolved. We've evolved in squad depth, so that shouldn't really be an issue after 6 games. And he also says it's great, but rotation is what we need to get to April and May with everyone firing. So there you go to finish off on that one. And he said it's hard to leave out Ronaldo. The more we have him on the pitch, the better. But rotation is still needed. So we'll have to see where he goes on that one as well. Another interesting thing he spoke about was about it's a good time. It's a good time to be a United striker. A good time to be a United attacker. And I thought, it's a good time to be a United attacker in terms of looking at the team that we've got. But do they get a hell of a lot of service? Are we smashing up teams? When's the last time we scored more than 2 in a game? Leeds, yes, that happens because that's just what we seem to do to Leeds. But you know what? Actually, to be fair, Newcastle we did do it, but in the generic rule of thumb, even back to last season, we very rarely score 3 or 4 goals. And when we do, it's usually when a team kind of capitulates and we score them in bursts. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not taking away from them results because those results were obviously good. But it's not a common thing that we're free-flowing, scoring loads of goals, bracking up teams. It's not really that, is it? So when Ollie was basically saying, and I'll read the quote of what he said. He said, we've added some exciting players going forward. We've scored goals. It's a nice time to be an attacking player for us as well. We need to keep that going. Keep attacking, having Man United DNA. I always get a little bit, when Ollie does the DNA thing, it's like, me and KG said it, or KG I think was saying it, and I definitely agreed. Our DNA's winning, isn't it? It is. Like, I feel like there's the default DNA, yeah, which is, yeah, okay. Which is Man United should win. Then there's like the subplots, which is you should have wingers, you should play attacking football, you should have good quality strikers, you should have exciting players, you should have a proper centre half. You know, subplots. Do you know what I'm saying? But the main plot of it is that we just win. That is the United DNA. And you know, although you look at the table and it might tell you otherwise, we haven't really been that great. If we're honest, performance-wise, we haven't. Ray Diaz says he won't rest Ronaldo this week. Not really. Biggest issue versus Leicester is injured defense is the problem. Yeah, look, Lindelof and Bailly have to come in. Let's touch a little bit on the Leicester game. We get a little bit back to the press conference in a little bit. John James says, I'm sick of fans belittling our play. We have played free-flowing, but not enough. John James saying we're playing well. We're playing really well. Okay, fair enough. Disagreeing with myself. I don't think we've played free-flowing at all, John. I think in moments there's a couple of moves that have looked quite free-flowing and good moves. But on the basis of it, John, I don't agree that we've been free-flowing at all. Josh Wearing says, big up yourself, Flex. Congratulations to all the football content creators from last night. I think Ollie's luck comes back with Rashi, says Josh. Yeah, big up, man. Really good night at the content awards last night, man. A lot of people picked up some big awards. I think AFTV picked up another one. Mark picked up another one. United Stand were in for some. I don't think they got the United Stand one, but Mark picked one up. Curtis won, I think, best newcomer. Fogden won an award, and there was some great stuff. One of the young girls picked up young content creator in the women's game. It was a really good event. So a big congratulations to everyone. It just shows just the whole scene. The whole scene is just growing. The whole football content's like YouTube world is growing in it, and it's important that we all come together and kind of do it. I was nominated in a category with some big hitters as well, so I was just happy to just be in there and just have the vibes, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Hey Flex, maybe McFred is so bad due to bad coaching because both of them used to be good, says Lamine. I just don't think they complement each other very well. Ryan Hamilton says the DNA was Sir Alex Flex. It was his DNA. That's why it will never come back unless he does. Interesting point. True, I get Sir Alex made that, but he was there for so long. That whole era of Manchester United, that is it. But he did have principles that were imprinted on him from Sir Matt Busby's time, which were a common thing throughout the club with the youth, with the exciting players, with playing on the front foot and playing fearless. Do you know what I mean? Those are things that are synonymous with Sir Matt. Big up Flex and to the whole United View team. Next year United View is winning, and that's a fact, says Connect Real. Big up yourself. But onto the Leicester game, man. Obviously, we know Lindelof and Bailly got to come in. There's no, what he did say was, they'll be ready. Ollie did say that they'll be ready. And we've got good teams. We've got good players, and he's happy with that. And he said that he's looking forward to the run of games as well. He said, or a journalist was like, "This is a real tough time. Can this bring confidence, etc., etc." Ollie said, "Look, the best players want to play against the best. They're happy to be here and they want to play in these big games. You have to play the big teams." And they were talking about the record that he has against the big teams, and how Man United have done against them, which we have actually done all right against the big teams in a weird kind of way. we have. But the Leicester game's a tough one because you take Leicester's form going into it, not great. They just, in general, in this season, they haven't been good. I understand that. But you can't sleep on Leicester. Last time out against Palace, I watched them and they were awful for large parts. Iheanacho gets a goal against the run of play, then bang, Vardy scores. They're 2-0 up at half-time. Yes, Patrick Vieira managed to get them back in the game, and that shows how vulnerable Leicester are right now. But at the King Power, you can't overlook them. You can never overlook them. It's not the Leicester that we've been seeing. used to seeing at the moment. But that's it also, we're not the Man United that we want to see. So Lindelof and Bailly got to come in. I think a good thing of Bailly coming in though is that he's always up for a challenge against Jamie Vardy. Do you know what I'm saying? I fancy him to deal with Jamie Vardy. But it's a different pairing. You know, it is a different pairing. You know, with Rashford potentially coming back, which I think he'll start now after seeing what Ollie said in the press conference. Paul Pogba's coming back on a high from international duty, buzzing after winning the Nations League. He needs to play. Is he going to trust him in midfield? Fred can't play. So what? Pogba's got to play in central midfield. He does in this game. He does. But as you know, a lot of the time Ollie doesn't really like him there. I would go with Matic and Pogba for this game. Matic and Pogba, or at worst, Pogba and McTominay. I would. But you know, I could see Ollie doing a madness and doing a McTominay Matic. Imagine that, McTominay Matic. David Naheen says, long time catching the show live. We in trouble? Yeah, you are in trouble. You are in trouble, bro. Players like Fred performing well for their countries puts pressure on Ollie, says Devon. Yeah, exactly. Same with Paul Pogba. When people are not within the Man United setup, they seem to be doing a little bit better. Love from Melbourne, says Moran. And Vardy licking his lips at United centre-back parents, says Saragan. Well, I suppose you could say yeah, but you know, also they'll be confident. One thing about the shithousery of Jamie Vardy is that you know he's going to potentially do the Sue. Like if Andres Townsend's got it in him, that's definitely something Jamie Vardy could do. 100% running away to the way end and doing a Sue. But on them, like I said, you can't sleep on Leicester. Who would I go with in attack? I would go. Would I start Rashford? If Rashford can start, then I would start him on the left. I'd actually give Mason a rest. I'd put Sancho on the right and I'd go Ronaldo up top. So obviously Bruno in the 10, and then I'd go Pogba, McTominay. That's what I would do. And then obviously the back four is going to speak for itself. That's what I would do, because I feel like now is a chance for Sancho to have some time on the right. Like, we know he can play there, and it's like Ollie has brought him in like just a left winger. Do you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't want to play him at all. Left on the right wing. He's brought him in as a left winger. And I think partly that is because Rashford hasn't been there, because we know he's the number one left winger and Martial's been a bit slow. So I get that. But what I will say is that he's been brilliant. How good has Jadon Sancho been for Dortmund on the right hand side? He's proved he can play there. He really has proved he can play there. We know he can play there. We know Edinson Cavani can play there. So I would use this as a chance to play Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left. Rashford probably won't be able to play 90 minutes, but almost certainly won't be able to play 90 minutes if he starts. Then you switch it up. Then you put Jadon on the left in the 75th minute, 70th minute, whatever, when Marcus starts tiring. Put Sancho on the left, and then put Greenwood on the right. Switch it up. Do you know what I mean? Sancho smashing it for England as well. Fletch says Jake Norman. Yeah, look, it was against not San Marino. Who was it against for England played the other day? Was it San Marino? I can't remember who it was. 5-0. I think it was San Marino. Andorra. And yeah, Jadon Sancho basically retired a 41-year-old or whatever. But I know it's against opposition that, you know, England should be dominating against. But he was built. You know, he did look sharp against Andorra. He did. Quick feet, good vision, assist as well. So yeah, I think he's to get him going again as well. That's where we need to look at it and say, okay, well, you know what? He's doing all right. Let's give him a kick start. I think it's the perfect time to start him, along with a positive Paul Pogba. So for me, I'm going Paul Pogba and McTominay in the middle, or Paul Pogba and Matic. I'd probably prefer Matic, but I think he'll go with McTominay because one of them has to play out of McTominay and Fred can't play. You know what Ollie's like. Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Ronaldo, do your thing up front. And there's no Cavani, so Martial, you hold bench, ready to come in if we need to change it. That for me would be our best team for that. I would say. And I just think it kickstarts a really interesting run of fixtures. No matter how you look at it, whether you're Ollie in, whether you're Ollie out, whatever, you want the team to do well. You want the team to do well. And I think one thing you have to say about Ollie, yeah, and not even just Ollie, but Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think is the fairest statement to say it. anytime it looks like we're heading a bit south or it looks a bit peak or, this could be a real rough patch, he pulls it out the bag. Or Man United pull it out the bag. Do you know what I mean? And then we get some consistency. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us, win a few of these games, if not a lot more than some of us think. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, but it's not there yet. No, it's not. I hate that. When the sneeze is coming, you think, go on. And it just doesn't. It's so annoying. You kind of feel like we always have the ability to kind of turn things around, and we do have the ability to do it because of the players that we got. It's as simple as that. We've always got the ability to win football matches against anyone. Do you know what I mean? Against anyone. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how he lines up. But for me, I'm actually looking forward to this because this period of games, and I know I say that cautiously because when I look deep down, I'm like, shit, this could be peak. Did I miss a super chat? No, I didn't. This period of play could really be peak. If we look at it, we could be in trouble. But having said that, what's the point in having all these players that we've got and the squad that we've got that we can look at and actually say, you know what, apart from a central midfielder, we're there. We like our team. Apart from that, what's the point in being that close to a top team, right? Or we still do have a top team and not relishing playing against Liverpool and City and Chelsea and Arsenal and Arsenal. But do you know what I mean? The big teams. Why are we? What's the point in being scared? We shouldn't be in that position. With these players that we've got, we should be going into Liverpool at home, Man City at home, Spurs away, and being like, yo, we got Ronaldo, we got Sancho. We ain't got Varane right now, but you know what I mean? We got Varane. Like, let's go. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not worried. No disrespect to these players, but it's not like we got, Dan James in there trying to do his thing with Andreas Pereira trying to huff and puff on a bit of Mata, whatever. Nah, we've moved on. Like, we're ready. We got proper players. Do you know what I mean? We got a really exciting team. So that's why I'm looking forward to it, because that's why we got them players. I haven't got these players to just be scared and be like, oh, I don't know, you know what I mean? It's the feeling of how we play that makes us feel like that. We shouldn't be feeling like that with the players that we've got. Having said all this, am I nervous about the game? Yes, of course I am. I've predicted a draw the whole way through, haven't I? I've predicted a draw the whole way through. I've just got a funny feeling it will be a draw. Obviously our away form is so good. I think we can make it 30 on the bounce if we win, or just avoid defeat of not losing on the road, which is fantastic. But we need to win. I mean, we need to win. I'm not interested if we get loads of draws and that, and it means that's why we don't win the league. Then who cares? Do you know what I mean? We need to win. So of course we can beat Leicester, but I just got a feeling it'll be a draw. I really do. I don't know why. I just feel like we're just not playing well enough. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think we're playing well enough. A draw is a really bad result, says Merigini. A draw will not be positive. Of course it won't. A draw. I don't think we look at a draw and say, oh, you know what? Oh, at least we got a point. We move again. We need to start building because, City have played against, Liverpool and Chelsea. Liverpool have played City and whoever else they've played. I don't even know. Chelsea as well. Chelsea have played it. The bigger teams have played tough games. We haven't done that yet. This is where it starts for us. So we need to do it. Actually, we're going to win 7 of the 10 games and draw 3. Wow, that's really that's proper. To the point. Let me pull up the fixtures real quick, right, and just go through them. Man United fixtures. So, that's not right. Man United fixtures. So after Leicester, it's Atalanta, right? Then Liverpool, then Spurs away, Liverpool home, Spurs away, Atalanta away, City home, Watford away, Villarreal United away, then Chelsea, then Arsenal. Blood clot. Listen, it's a tough. How many games is that? Including Leicester, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is that full 10 games. It is the full 10 games. Flipping hard, yeah. big fixtures. You know what I'm saying? Media guy, up and coming fixtures look really tough. But listen, we've got the squad to deal with it. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear like, oh, it's unlucky. You had to play all the big teams. We want ourselves to be title contenders. If City was going into this run of games, they wouldn't be scared. Liverpool was going into it, they wouldn't be scared. If Chelsea, you know what I mean? Nah, mate. Nah. Connect Real says, when you call them like that, it's heartbreaking, but I think Ollie will do the Ollie things and put some crazy runs on. Bring it on. Megherini says, no more excuses. Moram says, except Arsenal. Yeah, I hear you. Rashad says, positive vibes upon the scene. Glory, glory, Man United, CR7 and Rashi. And Jake Norman says, that damn away record, don't play well 90% of the time, but haven't lost in over a year from home. Plus the home record is abysmal under Ollie. Jake Norman, you know what? You're right. It's really weird because Gary Neville was saying it as well. Even the games we've played this year that we've won, we haven't played. What's been a good performance this year? Leeds. I'd say Leeds was a good performance. I think it was composed. Yes, they came out and New Kaelin scored a wonder strike, but again, we composed ourselves. I'll say that was a good performance. Newcastle was, again, we scored in that little patch and then we ran away with it, but it wasn't amazing. Do you know what I mean? They got it back to 1-1 as well. Southampton was crap. Wolves was crap. Arguably should have lost that. Who else have we played? Everton, rubbish. Villa, rubbish. So there you have it. We haven't played well. Young boys, crap. Although for 34 minutes I thought we was actually really good, but then the sending off changed it. West Ham away, not great. Had a moment. We had an element of decent control where they weren't hurting us, but in the key moments we conceded, and look how that game ended with the drama. West Ham in the Carabao Cup, crap. Villarreal in the Champions League, my God, how did we win that? So I hate if you're just joining us and you're thinking, flipping out, anyone would think this guy's telling us that we've lost every single game. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the performances. I was trying to pick out the performances that have been good, and the answer is not a lot. So the performances now have got to improve. I've got to improve, especially with this tough run that we've got. There is no crazy run incoming. Stop this foolishness, people, says Almost United. And Kahoo says, I doubt Ollie will use his whole squad unless he's forced to. What's interesting, he was talking about it. He's talking about using it a lot. Do you know what I mean? And he's getting fired after these 10 games, says Don Dada. And Don Vinci says, low block and counter-attacking football, FC incoming. We don't play any other style of football but individual brilliance, FC. There you go. And Leicester, like I said, you can't sleep on Leicester. You don't know what's around the corner. They can hurt you at any moment. And I think they're going to want to start their season at some point. It's never, ever, ever an easy game against Leicester. Ever. So there you have it. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Club football is back tomorrow. What have we got for you? You don't know what it is. It's back to match day settings, man. The road to 100k is back underway properly. Now football's back again. We got KG on the match view. We got Owen on the match reaction. We'll probably DJ as well. I will obviously be there at the game talking to fans, getting their views as well, and road trip in the morning as well. So yeah, exciting times. I am looking forward to it. Got my ticket here. Come on. I don't want to be leaving the game. The yellow's not even working. I don't want to be leaving the game tomorrow and ripping this up because we've lost. Yeah, I want to be bringing it back and keeping it in the drawer where I keep all the games that we've won and putting it in my book where they get laminated. That's what I want to do. I don't do that. I'm joking. You know what I mean? Some people do collect the tickets though. But nah, on a real talk, I don't want to be fuming leaving there. Do you know what I'm saying? Gabriel Noel says, Madrid Pogba offer leaked. 14 mil, 5 years with 30 million signing on bonus for Pogba and Raiola each. Wow. There's a lot of leaks with that. God knows if that's true. But what we do know is, Real Madrid are sniffing. Juventus are sniffing. Yeah, we know that. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, smash the like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you all very, very soon. I'm out of here. Peace.